This is Dan Max, the trading agent. This is a stock trading and recap channel that I wanted to share to the masses. In a probability game, there's no certainty. Here are my insights and predictions.
Well, hello. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the trading agent, here with your stock market week in review recap for Friday, November 12th. Let's get after it. Got a lot of people giving great feedback. I really appreciate it. I know this stuff might seem very simple to me, and hopefully one day it will be simple to you as well. But yeah, I appreciate it. Giving me the feedback to really do this back to basics series and really do a little more in depth in some of the things that I'm looking at seems to be really helping. If you have comments, suggestions, ideas, drop them in the video below. Come to the Discord room. Feel free to just ask questions. Worst case scenario, I say nothing. 99.9% of the time, I'm going to try to respond to you in a manner that works best for everybody, because the questions that people have, you might not be the only one who has that question. There are a lot of people out there who are newer, been in the game a long time, still don't know everything that they need to know about trading. So let's get into it. I want to talk about the economy and some of the things that are interesting to me. We've talked about the markets. Let me go to the Discord room and something I posted that I think is interesting. The CAPE ratio is pretty insane. The valuation of the market, nominal PE, it's pretty high. It usually trades between 18 and 20. Looks like we're at 26 right now. I'm not saying there's a market crash coming. I'm not going to blame anyone in the government or say anything in particular other than if you have stocks for the long run and you're fully invested, do not be surprised if the market gets slapped around near the end of the year, especially if there's talk of higher capital gains taxes. That has always caused a pullback in the market. Steady it. The reason is very simple. If people think higher capital gains rates are coming, they're going to take their gains and pay the lower taxes in the previous era's tax rates versus waiting and getting taxed at higher, potentially double the capital gains rate. It's very simple. Their cost basis is in the past. They're going to take the profits now so that they can reestablish a cost basis in the next term. If you had to pay 15% or 30%, 20, 40, you just do the math. If you're paying significantly higher taxes than you would under the current tax current tax system, you're going to take some because you don't want to pay taxes. The rich, people with money, people who trade, even myself, I don't want to pay higher taxes. I hope other people understand that. So if that does happen and they see a market pullback, could it be 20 or 30%? Very likely. That's usually the average when tax rates change dramatically. So we'll end that there. Let's move into Bitcoin. Bitcoin, just holding up here, getting all the day traders pants and wadded up tightly. Just everybody's so annoyed. Why can't it break out? It's holding this area. Keep it simple. I said if you want, you could use this tight stop there. It busted below it and popped back out up higher. I personally own Bitcoin. I wouldn't be doing really anything other than maybe selling a little bit to buy a dip if it did happen. But in general, you should be holding. There's nothing wrong with it. Set your stops. Know your levels. If you're trying to predict every single day's action, you're not going to be able to. I apologize if that hurts someone's feelings who has been trading forever and thinks they can predict everything and their algorithm's perfect. Well, guess what? You can't predict the fucking news, okay? I'm sorry, you can't predict what news is coming. You can't predict the reaction to the news with 100% certainty. So that's why it's a probability game. If anyone's telling you certainty, someone says this is the lock of the century, you run, and you run fast, and you say, you know what, I don't believe you, and just move on. Those type of people are everywhere, very predatory on traders or beginners or anybody who's learning to trade because everyone likes certainty. It's just not there. Roadblocks. If you were playing my intraday trade, you are thanking me. You're thanking yourself. You got in around this retest at 93.94. We're now at $1.06. That's a solid 13 points off the bottom. Pat your back, pat yourself on the back for taking the action to have a plan. If you put $1 to stop to make 16, you were trading correctly. Do you want to take profits here? Depends on what your time frame is. If you're day trading it, you probably should take some, take half, look for dips. If you're a long-term holder who did some selling because it popped on earnings and you were looking for that buy and you're back to 100% of your account holding, I think it's okay. I mean, just watch the old highs. You just have to, everything becomes potential resistance until it's not. 110. If it gets over 110, it should clear and go higher. You see I have some resistance in the 120s. That's where I would be taking a bigger amount of profits if I feel the need, which I will. Again, I have some of this in my IRA, also a little trade going on. I have it owned different ways, but I will not give back profits. That's just something what I try not to do. So you see what it's doing. Keep it simple. If you own Roblox for the long term, have a plan, because if you held it, we talked about this ripping pop. If you just held this whole way, you felt like an idiot. Well, do you want to feel like an idiot again if it goes on a big blowout move and then it pulls back 30-40%? Just depends. I mean, obviously your time horizons, everyone's different, but take gains or the market's going to take them for you at some point, especially when you're up big. When that feeling of greed is just high and you're just like, oh, I can't lose, you're probably about to lose. Because that's how Tesla people felt last week when they were bombarding me with comments that you're an idiot, Tesla's going to 5,000, you know what you're talking about. Then it pulled back 20%. And I'm not trying to gloat on it, but I'm just trying to warn people. Profits have to be taken at some point. Hopefully you're using the strategies and techniques to understand risk management. But let's move on from there because we could talk about this for hours. The dollar, I was wrong about this one. I thought it was going to pull back based on the volume. We're back at the upper end of the channel. I'm not trading until it breaks out of the channel up or down. Keep it that simple. TLT, we had the bond market close yesterday for Veterans Day. We hit our blue zone and we're backing off. I would imagine all these moving averages converging together are going to be support. I thought maybe this. I'm not trading TLT, but I'm watching it just for the market's sake. 20 days should be held. If not, then you could really get blasting lower. Keep it that simple. The VIX, if you studied our videos in the past, you saw the W. We knew we were going to pop. You had a market pullback. Now we're at the 20-day. VIX needs to hold this area or it's going to go back to lower. Markets can start proceeding to higher highs potentially. It's really that simple. The VIX is just there to determine the volatility potential. And once the volatility seems to be coming in, markets tend to feel more comfortable. They will rise to higher highs or a trend will continue, whatever you want to call it. QQQ, another pat on the back. Earlier this week, we said watch out for this converging pennant. Backed off. We'll see. I will short the Qs if we do not break out to new highs. I'm waiting for the retest because I don't chase. And if it doesn't get up there and I don't short it, well, you know what? There's other trades, but that's how I would play it. Good old gold. The recap for this one is we told you, hey, this was a bear trap. You have a W here. I don't have it drawn. Double bottom. This backup was on bullshit to the Feds. Straight line move. We are now up at the downtrends on the weekly. Keep it simple. We need to break over this 174 area. I'd honestly just get over the 175. Call it round number, and we should move higher. I like high and tight. It's holding just fine. Nothing there to worry about. Was a good old friend GDX. Looks good to me. Holding up. We said, all right, got over the 200 day. Might chop. Every day doesn't have to be a huge screamer higher. Head and shoulders bottom. There's a video about what that is. Shoulder line. We bought it. It's making higher highs. Let it do its thing. Stop staring at every candle, trying to predict what's going to happen every minute because I can't control the order flow. Neither can you. So just be aware of things. AG talked about buying at the 20-day and the 50-day cross here. We hit resistance from the past. Backing off. High and tight's fine by me. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look great. It's just part of a trend. It takes time. KL, another one of our favorites. You bought it at the 100-day in yellow. It's back up in this zone, chilling out. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to break out right away, but it could chop, and that's fine. The Wu-Tang will always bring you the cash. We look good. It's holding up well. Keep it simple. If you own it, congrats. Silver. We had some scalps going on this. We said we get up to the 200 day. Well, kada boom. You've got to the 200 day today. Congratulations. Are you selling? Should you be selling? We broke the downtrend long term. I could see a pullback here, but scalps, clear them, move on. Swing trading, go to sleep. Don't even watch it. Who gives a shit? Letter X, the W again, Wu-Tang will protect you. Killer bees, killer higher prices will be coming. Steel prices every day. Who knows? But looks good to me. If you're in it, you're good. AMD, man, I talked about this. What would happen if it hit this upper trend line and it backed off? People were just in disbelief. No way it could drop. It's like, yep, dropped. Let's see what happens here. I would short it if it retested it. That's for sure. Or we made a lower high. Or we break, some sort of lower low, lower high kind of sequencing. That's a big move in AMD. I mean, I don't care who you are, but if you do short it, have a plan. You can short literally anything with a plan if you have stops. There's no guarantees in the market. Stop acting like there is. Grow a pair. All right, the 50-day in Apple. This was interesting. This little area coming down into. I really would like to see it down here against the wedge to either short it or buy it, but we hold high and tight. We can break out and validate the head and shoulders, which I've talked about probably 1,000 times. You go with it. MicroStrategy. This has been a nice winner. We talked about breaking this downtrend. It's backfilling. It retested the old highs. Don't be surprised where old highs get tested and people might sell. You back off. Today's candle is a nice looking little hammer, potential reversal of the down movement. Probably can see something a little clearer on the 60-minute chart. However you want to draw it. You can say that. You can kind of do this. There's all sorts of ways to draw it. It just looks like it's a flagging. It's the dinosaur head where you get the big long neck and then you have this choppy ass head with teeth that are whipsawing. Yeah, just kind of watch it. If you own it, you bought in it, congrats. I hope you had your plan. If your plan was to take some profit up here, you could be buying back under 800. That seems very logical to me, especially if you think the risk reward is to get back into the 880s to 900 range. I like that trade. Run it. Let's get into Tesla. Everybody's been butthurt about it. And if you didn't take profits, your profits got taken, especially if you bought in late. For the people who bought in earlier, congratulations. You were doing well. I hope to God you took some profits, because if you didn't, now you can't buy the dip. And you're fully invested. Problem is now we're at the 20-day. Could it break and get slaughtered? Check the news. Elon's selling a lot of stock. Elon's smart. He'll sell it high, and guess what? He'll buy it back lower. Why you're not doing it on partial amounts like he is doing for his own trading account to pay his taxes, to do other things, maybe buy a new wife, buy a ride to the moon or Mars, whatever. That's trading. Take profits or it gets taken, and hope if you do hold long term, you are not going into a bear market and potentially get slaughtered. At this point now, I'm just staying away from it. Said there was a trade near 1,000. It got to 987 and it bounced 100 points plus. That was the scalp. Now, 20-day, if this breaks, let's zoom back because obviously the past repeats. Yeah, we had this little formation with the 20-day. You bounced, and then once it got below the 20-day. If you're a Tesla owner, you're on red alert. You are on absolute red alert. Pins and needles trying to figure out what to do. Because if you didn't sell any and you didn't have a plan, this is what you're trying to stay out of. This kind of crap. I don't own it. I don't have any affiliation to what the hell is going to happen to it. I like it, but when it's trading at 1 billion times future sales, I don't know what the valuation should be. But I would still trade it if I still owned it, because again, I don't believe in certainty. I've seen stocks go up that seemed like they're going to the moon, and stocks get crushed. Good old PENN said buy the 0.618 56 area. Had a little scalp going intraday on the 10-minute. Not really doing much. It's kind of a bummer. I thought this was going to be the breakout, but it's holding up well. I mean, it's a little scalp. It's an add-on. I didn't get as much as I wanted at the bottom. I waited for the pullback to this little area in the 58s. This morning it retested it again. Buy low, sell high. Don't chase it, but I do think it's going to go higher. And again, the part that I did buy was options, so I bought some out of the money calls, the 60 calls, like 45 days out. Whatever. My risk is very defined. If I lose what I lose on these options, I'm not going to cry about it. But also, I'm not going to let them run to zero. That's what idiots do. Just let it burn on you. It looks good. I mean, at this point, there's nothing to really say. We're just waiting, and that's part of trading. Waiting and trading. They go hand in hand. XOP, talked about this all week, that we're waiting for it to break out. Watch the 20-day or this 50% fib. Just chopping. Really not much to say. Let's get into VALE. People were asking about this. Good old Scott was like, I think this is a buy. I agree. I would like to see it dip. Now that you see like the 8-day, 10-day starting to curve up, any retests in the mid 11s, 12 area seems like a buy. Put a stop at put the stop at the low. Are you willing to lose 50 cents to make 10 or 15 bucks? Duh. Yes, all day, every day. PAAS was another one he liked. I like it. It looks kind of like AG. Holding up well. If you would have bought the dips right in here, you're loving life. Silver's going higher, I think. We showed it in the chart earlier. Just have a plan. If you're wrong, always assume you can be wrong and how you're going to act when you're wrong. Profits take care of themselves. When we get to levels, we'll acknowledge them. But sometimes in between, you get these choppy moves. One day with ExxonMobil. 20 days breaking, the volume kind of shitty. I don't really trust the 20-day breaking here just yet. There's got to be some sort of... There's a little square here going on. Oh, Jesus. Learn to draw. And you can see it here. I would watch this level and be aware they could violate it temporarily. I mean, Exxon's printing money. Oil prices are going higher. Saudis ain't pumping more of it, so... Anyway, well, I hope everyone's had a great week of trading. If you have questions, want to review something, just have a thought. Say something in the comments. Come to the Discord room. There's a lot of people who want to help, like me, because I've helped them. I said one of the reasons why I would teach them is if they would be willing to teach others when they learn to be better traders. And, that's kind of the thing. You give to get. And I will continue that mantra. Helping people, helping others, helps yourself. This makes me better reviewing things with you guys every day. And yeah, this is the weekend recap. Dan Max at eXp Realty, a.k.a. the trading agent, signing out.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like the content. Also smash the like button, share with your friends, and add a comment. If there's a topic or stock you'd like me to give you insight about, let me know in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer your question. Thanks.